Basically, all I want to do is crawl in a hole and stay there for the rest of my life. You tell me what I should do.
I won't sugarcoat if this story is disturbing. Everyone knows Britney Spears has been through a lot. We've all seen the headlines over the years. The 2007 breakdown. Decision that gave her father control over nearly every part of her life. But what if those events weren't just a string of bad choices or random chaos? What if they were carefully pushed along by people with power? Not just her family, but others in the entertainment industry too. One of those names is Sean Diddy Combs, who is currently under investigation for serious accusations, including abuse and manipulation. Cassie, his former partner, has publicly accused him of violence and control. Now, Britney's name is showing up in connection with these cases, not as a bystander, but possibly as someone who was also harmed. Many fans have always felt that Britney didn't spiral on her own. They believed something or someone was behind the scenes pushing her. New information might prove that theory more than anyone expected. Her father has long been blamed for controlling her, but he may not have acted alone. A bigger network could have been involved, and Diddy might have been part of it. To understand how this might have started, we need to look back at a very specific night right before Britney's 2007 MTV performance. The night before that infamous show, she was spotted at one of Diddy's exclusive parties. It was September 8, 2007. Britney showed up at Jet nightclub in Las Vegas for a pre-VMA event, hosted by Diddy.
But they said there's this woman who is at Britney's side at all times, and she basically tells her what to do and where to go, and it's really creepy.
He went on to say that when he visited her, it felt like Britney was her captive.
And I get there, and this woman was there, and it was like Britney was her Britney was her captive.
Photos from that night show her with him and other celebrities, wearing sunglasses indoors and looking detached. Something seemed off. The next day, she stepped onto the VMA stage for what was supposed to be her big comeback. But instead of impressing people, she looked dazed and disconnected. Her dancing was sluggish, and she barely synced with the song. The media tore her apart, labeling her performance a disaster. But think about it. Why was she out partying just hours before such an important moment in her career? And why was her name brought up by Cassie in court, who said Diddy brought Britney to her 21st birthday that same night, but at a different Vegas club? Out of everyone he could have brought, why her? Another name tied to this situation is Lou Taylor. Back then, Lou was involved with both Diddy and Britney. She wasn't just a manager, she ran TriStar, a company connected to questionable money handling, surveillance, and even connections to sex workers mentioned in lawsuits against Diddy. One of Diddy's lawsuits even includes TriStar's office address. Lou is also the person who pushed for Britney's conservatorship, which took away her freedom, financial rights, and basic choices. So the question stands, was Britney's VMA failure just an unfortunate event, or part of a larger plan to tear her down? In her memoir, The Woman in Me, Britney wrote that she felt dizzy that night. She didn't feel like herself. Why was she so drained? Why wasn't she resting or preparing? Why was she even near Diddy, a man now facing horrifying allegations from multiple women? That night may have marked the beginning of a long and painful chapter for Britney, a night she might not have walked into willingly. The aftermath of that performance was devastating. Within months, Britney lost custody of her children, was placed under forced hospital care, and later had her life legally taken over. She described her conservatorship as similar to being trafficked, and who was right there as it all happened? Lou Taylor and her associate, Robin Greenhill. When Britney was admitted to the hospital in 2008, the facility was only minutes from TriStar's office. Diddy's office wasn't far either. That proximity is hard to ignore. Many fans believe that night with Diddy was a setup and attempt to make Britney look unstable, right before one of the most watched performances of her life. She was still a huge star with major influence and a lot of money. Taking that away from her opened the door for others to benefit, and that's exactly what happened. Lou Taylor and her circle made millions, while Britney lost her freedom. And here's where things take a darker turns. Some believe there may be secret footage of Britney from that night. Diddy has been accused of recording his party guests without consent. If such footage exists and ended up with Lou Taylor, it could have been used to manipulate or silence Britney. It sounds wild, but it's not out of the question considering the serious accusations Diddy now faces. After that night, Britney's image crumbled. She became an easy target for jokes and criticism, while people like Lou Taylor gained more power over her. There's also the curious case of Matt Gaetz, a politician who publicly supported Britney's fight for freedom. Not long after he spoke up, he was suddenly hit with serious allegations of his own. The timing made people suspicious, especially Considering how few public figures dared to defend Britney at the time, looking at the night before the VMAs, this wasn't just a regular party. Some believe it was one of those disturbing private events Diddy was known for, where horrible things reportedly happened behind the scenes. Guests were allegedly drugged, filmed, and used. The next day, she was clearly not herself on stage, and everything started falling apart from there. Old photos show her next to Diddy, looking uncomfortable and spaced out. Want to be there? There's also a theory that Lou Taylor may have used Diddy to trap Britney in a situation where she'd fail. If Britney appeared out of control in public, it gave people around her a reason to take full legal control of her life. And they did just that. In her book, Britney admitted she felt overwhelmed and hated how she looked that night. Her panic wasn't just stage fright, could have been the result of being drugged. Something that lines up with the stories coming out of Diddy's lawsuits.
And like Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein.
What are your thoughts on Lou Taylor?
She's a witch. And she should be strung alive for what she done to Britney Spears' life.
Do you believe that Britney was trafficked to Diddy and
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of those girls, all of those Mickey Mouse girls, including Christina Aguilera.
Britney wasn't just a pop star who made a few bad decisions. She may have been part of something far more sinister used by those around her for money and control. With a party she never should have been at, photos have surfaced showing both Britney Spears and Sean Diddy Combs with Rachel Chandler, a woman accused of being connected to Jeffrey Epstein and allegedly involved in recruiting girls for his network. There's no suggestion that Britney herself was part of anything illegal, but the people managing her life had questionable links. That raises some serious concerns. Britney has openly said that she felt blackmailed and stripped of her basic rights. In her own words, what happened to her wasn't just unfair, was criminal and deeply personal. In 2006, about a year before her breakdown and the controversial 2007 VMAs, Britney recorded a song titled Rebellion. It was never officially released, but fans who have heard snippets of it say the lyrics feel even more powerful now. She warned about people close to her pretending to protect her while secretly causing harm. She even talked about being given something poisonous. Back then, many thought she was talking about issues with her record label, but now, people are rethinking everything. Some believe she may have been sending out a message about Lou Taylor, her former business manager Diddy, Britney shaving her head and hitting a paparazzi's car with an umbrella. The public mocked her. People called her crazy. But later, Britney revealed she wasn't losing it. She was fighting back. From a young age, she was told how to look, what to wear, and how to act. But instead of being seen as a cry for help or a sign of someone taking back power, she was labeled unstable. Who benefited the most during that time were Lou Taylor, Robin Greenhill, Britney's father Jamie Spears, and possibly even Diddy. The conservatorship allowed them to control every part of her life, her money, most personal decisions. Britney said she felt drugged, isolated, and helpless. She wasn't exaggerating. Cassie's mention of Britney during her legal battle against Diddy sparked a major response. Fans started connecting dots, wondering how deep these ties went. Stars, like Justin Bieber, who were also thrown into fame at a young age and later faced serious mental health struggles. Many fans even said they feared for Britney's safety now. As more names and secrets come to light, some believe she may even need protection if more details about what really happened come out. In The Woman in Me, Britney describes her life as feeling like she was trapped underwater, only able to come up for a quick breath before being shoved back down. That's not the life of a rich celebrity. It's the life of someone who felt completely powerless. She wrote that she was forced to take medication she didn't want. The people around her, the so-called team, kept her quiet and under control, while they got rich off her hard work. If Diddy had any role in that setup, he wasn't just another name in the industry. He was part of the larger system that used Britney for profit. Robin Greenhill wasn't just some assistant in the background, and personal details with men before she went on dates treating her like she wasn't even human. Andy Cohen once mentioned that when he met Britney, it felt like she was being watched, like someone was always standing nearby, ready to correct her. He didn't name Robin, but many believe that's who he was talking about. Court documents back up these claims. Robin Greenhill's name has shown up in lawsuits that accuse her of helping pay workers for Diddy's parties. Types of parties Cassie described where people were allegedly drugged, filmed, and used without consent. Robin worked under Lou Taylor, who managed both Britney and Diddy, making this connection even harder to ignore. Random people crossing paths. This looks like a system one, where the same names keep showing up in connection to control, abuse, and money. Singer Jaguar Wright has been warning about this kind of thing for years. She's spoken out about the dark side of the music industry, and has specifically called Lou Taylor a dangerous figure. She believes artists like Britney were manipulated, medicated, and traumatized so badly that they couldn't even process what had happened to them. Britney's story fits right into that picture. She said she was forced to take lithium, a strong drug that made her feel like she was drunk all the time. That kind of medication can destroy someone's ability to function normally, and it explains why she seemed so off during the 2007 VMAs. So why would anyone do that to her? The answer is simple: money. Britney's shows in Las Vegas, her brand deals, her music catalog, all of it brought in massive profits. They were making millions now that Diddy is being investigated and accused by multiple women. More connections are coming to the surface. Cassie's legal filings mention Britney. Lou Taylor's company is being accused of illegal surveillance. There are claims that Lou paid Diddy to interfere with Britney's comeback attempts. Music? Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones even claimed Diddy's team kept disturbing video footage of people at his parties and that Robin was involved in managing some of it. Disturbing. In her memoir, Britney says both her parents helped maintain control over her. Her father enjoyed having power over her, and she compared what she went through to being trafficked. That's not just dramatic language. That's how she felt after years of being silenced, medicated, and controlled. Britney is finally telling her story. And with her name popping up in these ongoing lawsuits, there's a chance the truth is even bigger than anyone imagined. They might be part of a much larger system of abuse, exploitation, and cover-ups. And Britney was stuck right in the middle of it. If you care about what really happened, share this story. Let people know the truth might just be starting to come out.